Welcome back to another edition of Inside the Idaho Vandals with head coach Rob Akey. I'm Dennis Patchen. Thanks so much for being here. Over the next half hour, we're going to take a look at Idaho football, but a lot of other things going on campus. Rough trip to Texas State. What happened down there?
Oh, it was awful. It was just so disappointing. I felt good about our preparation. I felt good about, we'd finally created some momentum that we had an opportunity to respond to build on. And, we got ourselves into a game where it was a one-score game for the longest time. So, that means we had opportunity. We had opportunity in all three phases of the game to be able to, to match the score, take the upper hand, and we didn't. And the longer it took, they ended up getting some momentum going, and obviously the game didn't work out the way that we had intended for it to. And, we've had good things happen for our football team. We were feeling good about things, better about things a week ago. We'd gotten the win accomplished that we'd been working for. We felt like we'd been awful close to, and thought we would really be able to build off of that. We've had things go that we've done well for periods of time, but we need to do it well more consistently, and let that become more of a habit. We've got to make for that to be the case, and that's what we're in a situation now where we've got to be able to bounce back, and we've got to get ourselves moving forward, and we've got a hell of an opponent in Louisiana Tech this week.
Yeah, and we'll get into them a little bit in the second segment of the show. I mean, if your team is bad, if you guys can't catch, throw, tackle, whatever, but we've seen flashes, moments, a quarter, a half of brilliant football out of your team, only to kind of see things kind of unravel. How do you not go crazy when that happens?
Well, if you go crazy, you don't have the opportunity to be able to respond and make it be better. That's it's aggravating. There's no question about it. But I also am going to maintain, if we can do it some of the time, we can do it all the time. We can certainly do it more of the time, and we can let that become the habit that's going to work for us. And we have seen it at times. We've got the ability to do those things. I mean, part of our issue was just tackling on our defense. Far too many yards. We got to stop the running game better than what we did on Saturday. I'm not happy about that. Our defense isn't happy about that. Nobody's happy about that. We made some mistakes in the option play for periods of time. Some of it was just flat out tackles and just wrapping a guy up, attacking a guy and wrapping him up. We've done that well all season long. So, yeah, I know we can get that to come back, and it's going to have to happen this week. We can't change last week, but we can certainly make it happen this week. We were running the football better, and we were running for about 7 yards a carry in a running game. That can still be something that can continue to grow for us, but that was an improvement. That was something good there. James Baker was one of the guys that we talked about, did some real good things for us in the course of the ball game on Saturday. Our throwing game, we've got our opportunities. I mean, we have plenty of opportunity. It's a matter of making that play. Plays that have been made before. Getting a throw on the guy, throwing the ball to the right guy, catching the ball when the opportunity comes about, making sure we take care of the ball. Little things, but those things make a difference. We make a couple of those plays in there, now we've got ourselves sparked. And we haven't even talked about the special teams. Our special teams started kind of the party the week before and made a lot of good things happen. We talked about how well we set up our defense field position wise. Well, that was not the case in this particular ballgame. So again, here we are talking about that word consistency, doing it consistently well, and that's what we got to get that to be what we pay attention to. It happens as a team, though. It's got to happen as a team.
Yeah, is this a case of maybe death by paper cuts? I mean, it's a little, all of a sudden becomes a problem.
Yeah, that's probably, I never heard a term that way before, but I would put it that way. Yes.
I mean, 1 or 2 doesn't hurt you. 10 or 12. Yeah. Now you're at adversity, and it's an uphill battle.
Yeah. And again, it's something we don't have to dig back too far to find where we made it happen for ourselves. The New Mexico State game is a perfect example of that. As a football team, we won the game. All three phases of the game took care of each other. All three phases of the game made some mistakes that we all responded to. And as a team, we responded to sudden change. We made those things happen for us. That was not the way that the game played out on Saturday. And again, we had opportunity. When you're sitting there at a one-score situation for as long as we were, I mean, we're talking about going deep into the second half. That means it's a slugfest. Both teams have their opportunities, and we've got to go snatch opportunity. We can't let it come to us. We got to go snatch it.
Each time in Inside the Vandals, we like to introduce you to one Idaho Vandal player, and what we like to do is not necessarily talk about football, but just talk about the player and get you to understand them a little bit more. Les Charlson has this with Max Ford of the Vandals.
Thanks, Dennis. Well, Max, how was practice today?
Practice is good today. We got a lot of good preparation done for the game this weekend. We're getting really prepared. We'll be ready by Saturday. So,
you are from a family that is known for some superior athletic talent. You know, your dad, Brian Ford, played for the New Orleans Saints, outside linebacker. Tell me what goes along kind of with the expectations of coming from a family like that.
For me, I don't really think about that. I think my parents have done a good job of not really putting that pressure on me. Let me be my own person, so I don't really feel that pressure, I guess, per se. But pressure for me really is my own drive to be great and kind of make my own name for myself and help make this team better. So.
We also know that you have a sister here at the University of Idaho that just committed.
She got all the athletic genes in the family. She played 2 sports and everything, so.
Well, how is it having her here with you at school?
I think it's good. Good for both of us because I think, we got a really good relationship for siblings, I think, and especially for her coming up here, I think is good because I got family up here. She got somebody to kind of lean on when she's going through those freshman year the struggles, the change from being at home. So I think it's good for both of us to have some family up here.
Definitely. So you talked about your own drive and how important that is. We know you're a finance major. That comes with a lot of hard work, dedication, also being, you know, a college Division I athlete. Talk about the balance that requires and how you got there.
For me, it just means I don't really get to do a lot else than football in school, so that's what it takes, but I'm willing to do that because I think it will set me up well for my future.
We've also seen some of your celebrations on the field. You're kind of a quiet person, you know, but after some of your big sacks on the field, can you kind of explain the significance of that celebration you have?
For me, back in high school really is when it started. I was talking with a buddy about things that I might do for my sack celebrations in college, and so we were just messing around. It was during the World Cup actually. There was a Ronaldinho commercial on ESPN, and everybody was doing the little over and kick. So I kind of did it for that. Hopefully I'll be in the next commercial. We'll see.
You could be. Is there any sort of superstitions or things you have to do before a game in order to get that game day luck?
For me, really, there's not. I wouldn't say it's a superstition, but I listen to a lot of the same music. Normally, it's more calm stuff because for me, going into a game, I get really pumped up without listening to the super heavy stuff. So I like to kind of calm down so I don't lose all my energy like the first drive or something. So I try to kind of bring it down so I can be on that even keel all game and be ready to play.
So we're also seeing a different number out on the field this year. What's the change behind that?
For me, last summer my grandfather actually passed away. His name was Ivan Ford. A lot of his friends called him 40, and that sounds like 4T, and so I changed to 40 for that when it became available. And also, obviously, like I just said, it sounds like our name, so I thought it would be kind of funny like that, but it has some meaning to it as well. So
very cool. So representing the last name with the number.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's been great getting to know you a little bit better. Max Ford, sophomore defensive end for the Vandals. Back to you, Dennis.
Tell me about Max Ford. His second generation.
Yep.
Many people around here know his dad played at Washington State. Now he's played at Idaho. Who is Max Ford?
Max Ford is a stud. He absolutely is a stud. You don't say, hey, this is who you'd like your son to be, that's Max Ford. If you say, hey, this is a guy that does everything right, that's Max Ford. A guy with character, a guy that does things the way they're supposed to be done, that's Max Ford. He works his tail off on the field, in the weight room. He does a great job in the classroom. He's a tremendous leader, and a leader as a young player. The way he goes about things that way. And if you had a daughter, I don't, but if I did and she brought him home, I'd be pretty happy. If my boys, Jack and Daniel, can grow up and be a guy like him, I think we did a pretty good job raising him. That's what I think of Max Ford.
Sounds like a guy that may have a future in football, but if he doesn't, we don't have to worry about him.
No, he can make his future whatever he wants it to be, and he is a good enough football player. I think he's got an opportunity to go do some things, but he's a first-class young man, no doubt about it.
All right. When we come back, more with Rob Akey. We'll talk a little bit about Louisiana Tech, a very difficult contest for the Vandals coming up this Saturday. All that when we continue on Inside the Vandals.